Hello. you know, I'm starting to enjoy making videos. I think it might be a good idea if I take a class on how to make videos that are interesting and get a lot of hits on YouTube. Because I haven't really figured that part out yet. But if I keep plugging along and talking about things that I feel are important, and hopefully others too, then maybe one day I will become someone who can shed light on things. You know, um, if somebody sat down with me to try to figure out what's in my head, I think it would take many days to try to figure out who I am and what I go through. I think everybody's special in their own way. Um, everybody's unique. Um, Me, all I am is just Emily. I've been Ed so long that as Emily, I'm like having a really fun time. The funny thing, it's not funny, but a lot of serious issues are going on within this drama of me becoming a woman. It's like a I can't kind of put a fix on it. But here you got a guy who lived as a guy all his life, who really wasn't happy, but at the same time became a husband and a father. And I'm so happy that I have a wife and a son. If I had transitioned much earlier in life, I might not even have had a family. So I have to say that being a guy and now becoming a female isn't so bad, because I have I'm not going to say I have the best of both worlds, but what I'm trying to say is we all live and we all hope for things in our life to do. And I believe if you polled many people, I think one of the biggest responses would be that they would find probably happiness and not to be alone. They would want to share their life with someone. And obviously, a woman has the gift of bearing children. So I would say the majority of females would love to have a baby. And I feel sad for women who obviously want to have a child, but for whatever reasons, with respect to their body, they're unable to give birth. And it breaks my heart because, the reality is, yes, as I talk, I say, yes, I'm becoming a woman. But in reality, I'm just making cosmetic kind of changes to look and approximate as a woman. I am not a real woman, and I could never be a real woman. But if I can be accepted and, you know, allowed into that community with women, I would feel so good because I've got accepted into a group that I've always held in high esteem. I always thought women were strong. They were very good in expressing themselves, and they weren't ever afraid to be emotional. I lived as a guy for many years, and I was emotional. But there were times when people would say, "Why are you being a sissy? You're not supposed to show emotion." The problem is that's what's wrong with our, our what's ingrained in us when we're kids, is that girls can be emotional, they can express their feelings, but guys have to take it on the chin, and they don't have the ability to open up. And that is a sad thing because if guys were able to really, how do you say it the right way? I guess getting in touch with their feminine side. I mean, that is a common term. Um, but I think it's healthy. I don't see anything wrong with a guy crying. I mean, I would think that women would respect the guy who cried and wasn't afraid to. Um, I think also I found today was kind of interesting because obviously, well, it's past Halloween now, but the funny thing is, I always dreamed of going out and being a female on Halloween because I felt like that was my free ticket to finally go out and dress like a girl. But the funny thing is, I never had the courage to. And for me today, it was just like any other day. Because I've been dressing now as a female since last year. And I'm very comfortable. I still have a lot of work to do. I mean, I'm a work in progress, I guess you could say. And you've seen, if people are watching my videos, which I hope they are, because I'm being sincere when I talk. I'm trying to really um, speak from my heart, like I write. And one thing I started to really, oh, I almost fell there. That was kind of weird. But one of the things that I really find interesting, because I have a love of music. I'm also sorry that I wear shades sometimes. It's just the way I feel. Like some days I don't want to wear them, and some days I do. So I may at some point in the video take off the shades, but it's like my comfort zone. And I always wanted to go to Hollywood and just like dress in the most beautiful outfit and just stroll down Hollywood Boulevard or whatever, Rodeo Drive or wherever you get the attention, and just mesmerize people. That's the beauty of a woman, is she can mesmerize people. When you look at an attractive woman, every guy, and I'm telling you, every guy has to see. And it's not like guys are bad. It's like women are beautiful. It's a fact. And that was my biggest hang up, was that I envied women. I wanted to be just like them. And that's why I found it so intimidating to be a guy and to approach a woman. It's like, how can you approach somebody who's so beautiful and you're just an average guy? I don't think my thinking is right, but that's always how I felt. Like even when I went to a nightclub, I mean, you see all these gorgeous girls with their pretty dresses on, and they're dressed like, they look great, and they got the cute shoes on. I mean, I started buying shoes, man. I just love it. I can go and look at the most elaborate shoes. And the funny thing is, you can spend a fortune on shoes, or you could get a pair of shoes for $19.99, and they're cute. And those are the kind of shoes I buy, the $19.99 shoes at Kmart. And I got several of them. I really like them. But that's the beauty of being a girl, is you can go shopping and you can look at all the beautiful dresses. A lot of girls for some reason don't wear dresses. I guess for me, wearing a dress is like the epitome of being a female. Because when I was a kid, that's what I wanted to wear. So for me, I'm having a ball wearing dresses. Also, if you notice the tone of my video today, it's more upbeat. I feel like, I don't want to make people sad. I don't want to bring people down. I'd rather be uplifting, If ever I'm going to be an inspiration to anybody, the only way you can inspire someone is if you I speak the truth. I mean, I don't sugarcoat things. When I tell you that I have problems financially, or that I'm concerned about the mortgage, it's real. It's reality. Most people do face this reality. And the sad thing is, a lot of people live from paycheck to paycheck. That is not a way to live. It's very scary. And I'm going way off topic here, but it really is like a point of frustration when you have leadership in Washington who seem to be so inept that they don't know what they're doing. and they can never come together and agree on anything. I mean, I could go to Washington, D.C. and make proposals. I am good at writing, and I know if I took a pulse of people and what they are suffering through and what they wish to be changed, I could express it in writing. And one thing I have to say is, becoming a female, I have become very vocal, and I'm not afraid to express myself. When I was a guy, I was shy, I was introverted, I was so painfully shy. If I saw a beautiful girl, I was the one who would cross the street just to avoid looking at her. And it wasn't because I couldn't relate. I mean, I love girls, you know. I'm transitioning to be a female, and the protocol. I don't know what you call my situation, because I still enjoy the company of women. I have a wife. I'm not gonna leave my wife. I love my wife. But theoretically, if I had the full gender surgery and had the surgery to construct like a vagina, um, some trans women, like, their ultimate uh, um, becoming a woman to them is like experiencing the whole thing, like having sex with a man and feeling what it's like. And I don't know, for me it's more like about dressing and feeling pretty and just feeling comfortable and confident. It has nothing to do with the sex. I still look at a woman and I appreciate her beauty, and actually I look at a woman and I kind of try to get a feel, because I want to present like that. So I like looking at women for different reasons, but I love women. Women are so beautiful. Um, and one thing I must say is that I find that a lot of women or girls seem to kind of get what I'm going through. They kind of, I don't know if they feel for me or they, but they seem to understand for whatever reasons. I think it's because they're very loving and caring people, and they have a heart and they have emotion. And I've been very lucky because, I sometimes go on rants and I say that society seems to be against transgender. But my reality is that I've been very fortunate. And when I speak to people, I'm really not ashamed anymore to admit that I'm transgender. Actually, I enjoy kind of coming out. It's not like I'm pushing it on people. I mean, I said that yesterday too. But it's just that, I don't know. I guess like when you lived your whole life in pain and you struggled, and you saw your parents in pain and struggling, and all you ever wanted was to just be happy. And for me, happiness was putting on clothes. Now, I don't know, material things are things that make people happy. Clothes is like an issue, like, it could be materialistic, but it's also a necessity. And for me, when I wear women's clothes, I just feel like it's who I am. It's what I am, and I have to do that because that is my reality. You know, um, my son, he's a teenager. He's going through a rough time. He's autistic. Actually, we went upstate to a city near Syracuse. I'm trying to remember. Maybe it'll come to me. Fortunately, like, I have like 3 minutes left, and it's hard for me to just talk about. I want to talk and kind of be consistent with what I say. But, I think sometimes I'm just going to talk like about what I studied in college. When I was a college student, there were a lot of girls in my classes, and I was a mechanical engineering student. I went to Nassau Community College for 2 years, got my degree in engineering science. I studied calculus, I studied physics, I studied chemistry. I really love math and science. And I would say that calculus and physics were my favorite subjects. And Virginia Tech, I'll tell you, it's not MIT, but Virginia Tech is a good school, and they have a solid program in all areas of engineering. I mean, you name it, they have it. And they got the labs and the facilities and the computer setups and the library. I mean, Virginia Tech is a happening school. Plus, they have a great athletic program. Sadly, too, Virginia Tech was in the news for tragedy. I believe it was April 16th of 2007 because I know for a fact that it was 2 years before my father's tragic death. But I'll never forget when I saw what happened on that campus. I mean, I had gone there many years before. I was there in the early 80s. But when I heard the news, when my dad called me and told me what was happening at Virginia Tech on that day in 2007, April 16th, I believe, I was just like in total shock. I mean, how could something so brutal happen? But the problem is, this doesn't happen just... I mean, this happened in Columbine High School. This happened at a movie theater in Colorado where people went to see a Batman movie. I mean, the frequency of these tragedies are just too much, and I don't understand it. For me, I'm very peaceful as a person. I've always tried to respect other people, and I always come from I learned from my parents pretty good. And that's what I'm trying to do with my son. But I don't know the answers for my son because autism is a very difficult thing to get a handle on. And I wish that I knew how to guide my son, you know? I'm hoping and I'm pinning my hopes with my wife on this school upstate, Romulus. It's Romulus, New York. And it's it's a good school. But anyway, I'm going to have to say goodbye. And I'll do another video. Because I love you.